Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Stott, I'm the Emperor of Stomaria, and today I want to go over some of the changes that we're making to the Imperial Treasury. So the last time that I did a video on the Imperial Treasury was back in March, and back then it was about the past, present and at the time future of the Imperial Treasury. So I went over how the Imperial Treasury was set up, what it consisted of, how it evolved and developed, and yeah, if you want to learn more about that aspect of the Imperial Treasury, I shall leave a link here so you can go back and have a look at that if you want. But today I want to talk about how the plan has changed since then, because the plan has indeed changed. So the last thing that we discussed in that previous video was how we invested a sizable proportion of our portfolio into Cardano, a digital asset, and gold. And the idea was that Cardano was going to provide staking rewards for us. Which was going to be an ongoing payment, which worked well for a time, but we've changed approach to how we're treating Stomaria. Like the previous two videos beforehand, this is the third and final installment of the big changes in Stomaria. So we're moving into more of a business-orientated model, a bit more. We're looking to make money through other means aside from me taking a huge amount of my own portfolio, allocating it to Stomaria, and then reaping the rewards from that. I want to move away from that because a certain series or set of circumstances has kind of forced my hand, and I have to divert my funds and my attention elsewhere. So the Imperial Treasury is going to be very much more, it's going to be funded more by the community at large. I will be contributing to the Imperial Treasury, and I'll get onto that in a minute, but from this point on, a sizable proportion of the funds that come into Stomaria will have to come from the Stomarian community, our citizens, our patrons, our supporters, and then it'll, it'll take as long as it takes to get where we need to be based on the support that it has around it. I don't want anyone to worry. I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be, funding the project and pushing forward with this. So don't worry if it's only, £50 or £100 every other couple of months that we get coming through the Imperial Treasury now. We'll make do. But one of the major issues that I was having, or will be having, and will continue to have, is that legally speaking, the UK government doesn't differentiate Stomaria from me. So it is just an extension of me. So even though I put funds in segregated accounts specifically for Stomaria, obviously all of those funds, or a sizable portion of those funds, particularly when it comes to crypto assets, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Cardano, or whatever else may be, is all taxable. And it was causing a bit of a headache for me, because I'm having to juggle around numerous accounts and pay tax on profits that I wasn't personally benefiting from. And it was, I wanted to move away from that. I want Stomaria to be moving in a direction where it's its own entity. It's not just an extension of myself. So yeah, that's the kind of direction that we're going to be moving in. So the plan at the moment is I'm going to be withdrawing or certainly a sizable proportion of my own portfolio that I allocated to the project out. I will continue to fund the project, the website, the uniforms, the badges, whatever else the expenses are required. I will obviously make sure that that's all still funded, regardless of how much money comes in. But the plan is that through the merchandise that we'll be selling, through the regular contributions that our citizens will be making through our Patreon page, I'm hoping that between those two, that'll be enough to cover ongoing costs and be able to put money aside to invest in other things in Stomaria, be it new products, increase the variety of things that our supporters can purchase, or put towards general running costs. But the plan for me at the moment would be to look at what is coming in from the Patreon page. So the citizens and lords and ladies that contribute financially, I look at that aspect of Stomaria as like the voluntary tax system, if you like. You are voluntarily becoming a part of Stomaria, and you are voluntarily saying, this is how much I want to contribute financially. And I very much appreciate everyone that does contribute to the project financially. And I think I decided that I wanted to match whatever was brought in by the community through that method. So if you are, if there's 10 citizens bringing in £25 a month through the Patreon page, I will also contribute £25 to the project, where we can use it to further our goals. We will still retain gold and Bitcoin holdings, and I want to take each of those separately. So the Bitcoin holdings is obviously something that's different from what we previously discussed, which was Cardano, which is an altcoin, an alternative coin. And the reason I wanted to move from Cardano more towards Bitcoin again was because it doesn't matter how bullish, how much positive news there is around certain altcoins like Cardano or XRP or Stellar or Litecoin or whatever else it may be. If Bitcoin is in a downtrend, if it's crashing, the altcoins will follow. It's still the king of crypto. It very much dictates the direction of the market. But the problem is with altcoins is that they typically crash a lot harder and a lot faster than Bitcoin when it moves down. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is that Bitcoin is probably one of the most stable of the crypto assets, of the digital assets. And when I mean stable, I mean like in the last bear market, sort of 2018, 2019, when, all these altcoins like XRP and Cardano and the rest of it, they were crashing 90-95%. Bitcoin only crashed 80%. And that is my definition of stability. But you take my point. You also have very bullish news long-term for Bitcoin, in that you do have, El Salvador, for example, a sovereign nation state, considering Bitcoin legal tender in their country, legally making it legal tender. I think it's from September. And there are other countries that are also looking to adopt Bitcoin or regulate Bitcoin in a proactive and positive way. And whether or not you consider Bitcoin to be sound money, which is something that I'm sure a lot of people will know, that Stomaria is a big fan of the concept of sound money and the opposition to fiat currency. Whether or not Bitcoin is considered sound money is a conversation for another time, but the idea of ditching the dollar, ditching the euro, the pound, in favour of something else is very appealing to me, and it's very exciting. Very exciting to see. It's history in the making, as far as I'm concerned. So on that front, we will be investing in Bitcoin, but we also will be retaining our a small holding of gold. And when I say a small holding of gold, I think I've calculated we're going to retain one gold sovereign. I think it's about 7.3 grams of gold. The idea being that we're going to effectively split the difference if we can. So we'll be buying 0.01 Bitcoin and retaining one gold sovereign. which I think between them equates to about £500 or £600. And my rationale for that is that we raised a little under £300 from our GoFundMe page, from our GoFundMe campaign, and you know, under this new system that I'm sort of rambling on about, I'll match that, make it about £600, and then put that into Bitcoin and to gold, and then basically have a clean slate. So whatever cash comes in, we can decide what we do with it, as and when. If we need it for to pay for the website, we'll use it to pay for the website. If we need more merchandise, we'll buy more merchandise. But if we don't have any need for it and we just have a sizable cash reserve, I may well move it into gold, or I may well move it into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is more of an investment. Gold is more of a savings method, because obviously I do still consider gold to be the optimum form of money. Yeah, I mean, that's about long and the short of it. So the Imperial Treasury is effectively being downsized, and then it's becoming a bit more community fueled. I will obviously, like I said, contribute towards it if the support for it is there. So it'll be a test, I suppose, of how well Stomarian, the Stomarian community, the citizens or the patrons, will see how many loyal members we've retained. But if you did enjoy this video, please feel free to give it a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll catch you in the next one.